to my channel. My name is Gregoria, but everyone calls me G, and here on this channel we talk about all things esoteric, mysticism, metaphysical, Zen, woo-woo, and all the things in between. So I'm so excited about this video. Recently, I hired someone to join Team G, and I'm so excited. Kat, I love you so much. I adore you. She's an incredible addition to the team. Everything I've ever dreamed of and more. I now don't know how I functioned without her, so I love her so much. And she recently gave me the idea to talk to people about meditation. And I was like, of course. It's one of the most common questions I receive. People say, gee, how do you meditate? How do you meditate? So this video is meditation made easy. I'm not going to get into the complexities of meditation, nor am I going to give you a long-winded explanation on why you should embark on meditation. This is more if you know it's something you want to try because you've already heard all the benefits of meditation and you just don't necessarily know how, or you've tried and it's not working for you. So this is an easy step-by-step guide on how you can start meditating anywhere, any place, for as long as you desire, so it can be effective. So the first concept I want to bring to your awareness is the concept of micro meditation. So a micro meditation is basically anywhere under 5 minutes. So this can be done on your commute to work, on the train, so not in the car when you're driving, do not meditate, but on your commute, on the train, on the bus, in an Uber. Now that they have the silent option, you could definitely do this in an Uber as well and meditate. Or I often micro meditate in the shower or in between coaching calls, or even sometimes when I'm reading a book in between the book pages, I just opt in for a micro meditation. So a micro meditation is not about surrendering your thoughts. A micro meditation is just about coming to a place of stillness, of mindfulness, all right? It's like a mini mindful meditation where my main focus is on my breath or on my pulse or on an external noise. Something occupies my attention. And what that does is that allows our monkey mind, and I refer to it as a monkey mind because it's like that constant internal chatter telling you to think of this, or have you forgotten this, or don't forget to do this, or we've got to get this done, or oh my God, did you just do that? And all of these different monkey mind thoughts. It's about giving the monkey mind an activity. So not necessarily trying to silence the thoughts, but instead directing the thought to something specific, something on repetition. So that's why when I focus on my breath, it's breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold. Breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold. Obviously, it would be more elongated. So it would be like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and again. Right? So I give my mind an activity, and because I give it an activity, I stop or I prevent it from thinking all of these other thoughts that are distracting. So I can do that in a 60-second period. I can just focus on my breath, I can focus on my pulse, I can focus on some music. I like to use the Calm app, and I always listen to the ocean because I'm such an ocean baby. I was definitely a mermaid in a past life, so I love to listen to the ocean. So I put the ocean in my ears and I just focus on the birds, right? The birds chirping and the waves, the crashing waves. And that's all I'm focused upon. And because I'm doing that, I come to a place of calm and stillness. And for 60 seconds, I'm not thinking all of these overwhelming thoughts that have me feeling anxious or have me feeling overwhelmed or have me feeling out of breath. So micro meditations are super powerful. Why I like them is because I can include them scattered throughout my day. So I'll do at least 5 a day usually for like a minute each. That's 5 minutes of meditation a day that I've just thrown in there. You know, during your shower, if you're on the toilet, if you're reading a book in between pages, in between calls, on your commute, wherever it happens to be, or even just after I finish a meal, I'll just do like a 60-second micro meditation, whatever I need to just get that stillness in real quick. Then if you want to commit to a longer duration of meditation, I usually like to do anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes. I used to commit to daily 1 hour and 15-minute meditations. They were guided meditations. I used to listen to Dr. Joe Dispenza. I also have my own meditations that I've recorded, so I sometimes listen to my own meditations. But now I find that the most effective in which I can commit to long term is a 15 to 20-minute meditation, because I can commit to a 15 to 20-minute meditation a day, and I know that it's something I can prioritize. Whereas when it was 1 hour and 15 minutes, it was like, where am I going to fit this in today? So if you can commit to 1 hour, do it. You know, I highly recommend long meditations, but a 15 to 20-minute meditation is like the equivalent of 3 weeks therapy in my opinion, if you ask me, okay? But again, I'm not here to sell you the benefits of meditation. I'm here to teach you how to meditate. So basically, if I was doing a 15-minute meditation, the idea is, and this is a Dr. Joe Dispenza principle, is that I go from somebody, I am Gregoria, who's about to lie on her bed, who's about to meditate. So I am somebody, I have an identity, and I aim to go to nobody. So I aim to detach from my identity. I aim to go to the place where I am no longer me. Okay. And then from that nobody, I can then go to everybody. Okay, once I am nobody and I don't identify or confine myself into a box, I can then become the eternal that I am. I can then become the universe. I can then become the expanded source. Okay, but I can't get there from a place of somebody. I need to basically strip down the layers of my confined identity. So what I do is, this is just my process, and you need to find your own process. And here's the other thing about meditation. There's no right way and wrong way. Do what feels good to you. There are better ways, but there is no wrong way. If you try, it's not going to be perfect on your first try, but try again and try again and try again. Stay consistent to the practice, and you will get better and better and better. And there may be times as well, like I don't have a perfect meditation every time. If there's a lot going on in my life today, or I'm slightly emotional or slightly anxious, it's going to take longer for me to surrender into it. And when I say surrender into it, it's because that's what we do. Stillness, that sense of well-being, is our natural state of being. So we're basically removing the resistance to that natural state of being, and that's why we're surrendering into it. So what I do is I like to lay down. You can sit up, you can lay down, you can kneel, whatever feels comfortable to you. I prefer a lying down meditation just personally. There are also walking meditations, standing meditations, and all the things in between. But again, personally, I like to lie down. I also like for there to be no light. So I cover my eyes with an eye mask or a piece of clothing or something so my eyes are covered, because any light usually distracts me. And I also put my earplugs in, my earphones in, and I listen to the ocean, because it's just, again, it eliminates the distracting noise. Because if I don't have those, I can still get myself there, but sometimes my mind will fixate on the dog barking or the music in the background or the doors banging or someone talking. So at least if I have my ears in, I'm not distracted by all of these external noises or my external senses. So I like to also have a glass of water before I meditate. Not too much, because then I may need to go to the toilet, but a big glass of water to cleanse my palate as well. Because if you've just eaten and you've got taste in your mouth, again, that can be a distracting element. So I like to cleanse my palate. Fresh water is also very purifying, and it amplifies the energy you intend for. So again, that water intending for a beautiful meditation is always really helpful. So ears in, I listen to the ocean. Calm app is free. I blindfold myself. I lay down. I like to be cozy and warm, so I feel comfortable. If it's a hot room, obviously I want it to be cool. So whatever temperature is comfortable to you. And then I basically start by doing a mindful meditation. So I focus on an element. So whether that is the heartbeat, whether that is the ocean waves, whether that is my pulse, whether that is the fan, if you choose not to listen to something in your ears, just something to fixate on. And after a few minutes, I find that it's on autopilot. So I'm not even focusing on the thing I intentionally chose to fixate on originally. And what happens to me, and I'm going to share this with you, it's a really, like, the best words to use are like exhilarating feeling, where I feel my entire vessel move out of my body. And what happens to me is my head tilts. And that's when I know I've reached the place. So my head begins to tilt, and out of my control. It's not something I'm controlling. I also feel a tingle in my leg. That's when I know that I've tapped into God consciousness, that I've tapped into source. So my leg starts to twitch and my head begins to move. That's just my telltale. Everyone has their own. Some have none. Okay, but that's just my way of knowing that I've completely surrendered into it and I'm now a nobody. And I just stay in that place for as long as I desire. Now, thoughts will cross your mind, and the idea isn't to judge the thought. Let the thought be there and remember that you are the observer of the thought. You are not the thought itself. So observe the thought, give it the space it needs, and then let it move on. We're not attaching to the thought. So it's not about, I hear a lot of people say, you need to eliminate thoughts, you need to stop thinking. You don't need to stop thinking because we naturally think. It's a natural process. And to try and stop, then my actual thought is on not thinking. So it's like I've just contradicted myself, right? So instead I observe the thought, I let it be present for a moment, and then I let it float by. And whatever comes through, I let it. But then the moments in between is where you find that sense of stillness, that sense of peace, that sense of alignment. You'll find that the moments in between the thoughts end up expanding and expanding and getting longer and longer and longer. And eventually what happens is I can have 7 minutes without a thought. Now this takes a lot of practice. It doesn't happen naturally. For some it will. I have just always found meditation really easy for me personally, but it's not easy for everyone, and that's okay. You just keep trying and keep trying to lengthen the time in between the thoughts. It will become a natural byproduct of doing the practice consistently. And then I let whatever intuitive nudges come through, because once I've become a nobody and I'm no longer attached to an identity, I'm no longer attached to a thought, I'm no longer attached to a train of thinking, I'm no longer attached to the process. So it doesn't really matter how I'm doing this or what I'm feeling. A telltale sign of once you've reached that place is also you no longer feel your body. So I feel a heaviness upon me, but I feel like I'm no longer in my body. It's not necessarily an out of body experience. It's not astral projection or anything like that. You're still very much so within your body, but your consciousness has expanded beyond that. Your consciousness has become one with the spirit that you are, with the source that you are. And what I'll find is all of a sudden I start receiving all of these intuitive hits, like, a song will appear, or a title for a program will appear, or a person will appear, or some sort of idea. They are my intuitive nudges because I'm no longer in a place of resistance. And because I have surrendered into my natural state of being and softened the resistance that was there in my conscious state, I'm now tapping straight into God consciousness. I'm now tapping into source energy and receiving all of this intuitive guidance. Now, the intuitive guidance doesn't come every time. Most times it doesn't, but you're much more receptive to the messages coming through once you have silenced your mind in a way that you've surrendered into the meditation practice. And when I feel called, or when I feel ready, or when I no longer feel like this is a practice I want to partake in, I bring myself back into my conscious state. You can do that simply by opening your eyes. You can take a moment, take a few deep breaths if you choose. And as soon as I open my eyes, I'm back into my conscious state. If you find it really difficult initially to surrender and observe your thoughts, then practice mindful meditation. Focus on something. Choose to either count to 10 and count back from 10, and count to 10 and count back from 10. Or choose to embark on a guided meditation. I have a 10-minute guided meditation available on my website. It's free to access, and there are also so many others online. Apps like Calm as well. If you pay for the premium service, they give you guided meditations. There are other apps online. I will put it up on the screen here. Some that I literally typed in meditation on my phone, and all of these different apps came up. So they're really easy to access guided meditations and commit to a practice every week. And I know meditation is the one thing that has completely changed my life. I now couldn't imagine a life before meditation. I wish I had learned how to do it sooner. I wish that I was doing it as a child, because it's brought me so much clarity, so much peace. And every time I'm feeling anxious, I know I can get myself to that surrendered place, and I can tap in to God consciousness. And I like to call it the God switch. So I can now do it in an instant. So I can get myself, even in my conscious state, to that place of complete surrender where I tap in to source energy, also known as channeling. But we can all do that. We can all do that through this consistent, committed practice. So enjoy your meditation. And I also have a free positivity rampage that's available for download. Links are below. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Please share this video with your friends, because meditation benefits everyone. And one thing about meditation is it's impartial. It doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, what gender you are, what race, religion, anything in between. You can benefit from practicing meditation. So if you enjoyed this, let me know in the comments below, and I love you, and I will see you on my next video.